across 25 CUNY campuses in the 5 boroughs of New York City. CUNY, or City University of New York adjuncts, earn a median salary of $28,000 a year and make up most of the teaching staff. They get paid approximately $3,500 for every 3-credit course. Less budget is allotted by New York State to CUNY annually, which recently forced the adjuncts to mobilize and push the union that represents them, known as the Professional Staff Congress of CUNY, to push a contract requiring they're paid a minimum of $7,000 per course to live above the poverty line. CUNY campuses used to be free and populated by full-time faculty. Open admissions allowed for diverse classes, but after World War II, the class sizes grew. At the same time, too many people pursuing their PhDs caused administrators to turn to flexible alternatives, and eventually adjunctification took over instead of hiring full-time positions. Here's what former adjunct and current full-time professor Amy Hughes had to say on the subject.
I think that personally, in my opinion, it's important because I know how very much time and help and support CUNY students need from their professors. I can afford to give that time because this is my full-time employment. But only 40 to 50% of the faculty who teach, say, at Brooklyn College or across CUNY are in this position of offering 100% of our time to our students. Instead, someone who is teaching part-time, especially if they have to piece together as many courses as they need to maintain the cost of living of New York City, they cannot stay and give that attention to students, which they really need in order to be successful here, to complete their degrees on time and not languish for years on end. So a living wage for an adjunct professor will most importantly affect the students in the classes that they teach, and because the majority of classes at CUNY are taught by part-time faculty, I can think of no other demand more important at this point. I'm sure if you did some research into what private schools and even other public schools, how they compensate their part-time faculty, you would see dramatic differences between the practices there and here. And one reason the union is demanding $7K for adjuncts is we want to be on a more level playing field with those institutions, because it is a best practice, really, to compensate instructional staff for the very important and time-consuming work that they do. Particularly in a university like ours, where the majority of faculty are part-time, they're not like me with the privilege of a full-time, sole-focused job. My only privilege and responsibility is to focus is to be focused on my students. A part-time faculty member doesn't get to do that. A part-time faculty member has to work other part-time jobs, has to take on temporary employment, has to pursue other ways to make ends meet. How can someone like that provide students the kind of support, mentorship, advisement that they need to succeed? It's impossible.